City's Labor Day event. Save up to 45% on select business PCs with Windows 10 Pro. Power your workday with savings on Dell servers, monitors, docks, and other accessories. Plus free shipping on everything. Do more with modern devices and Windows 10 Pro. Call 877-ASK-DELL for a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find the right tech. That's 877-ASK-DELL for business specials during Dell's Labor Day event.
Vaccines are not enough, and accurate thermometers are essential for everyone. COVID is once again a major concern, and fever is the key symptom for both the flu and COVID. An accurate thermometer, like the Kcjj temporal scanner, is essential to detect fevers early and reliably. Studies have shown that non-contact thermometers are ineffective and therefore dangerous, as they create a false sense of security. Kcjj is working with a single focus to ensure that everyone who needs an accurate thermometer can purchase one. Learn more at kcjj.com.
From the Hertine and Stocker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 Kcjj, Iowa City.
Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Now, Iowa City's news first.
I'm Tommy Lang with Kcjj News. The Johnson County Attorney's Office and the Iowa City Police Department are requesting the public's assistance to further investigate the sexual assault alleged to have occurred last year at the Iowa Phi Gamma Delta, or Fiji, fraternity house on Ellis Avenue. The two issued a joint news release asking that anyone with information on the alleged incident contact the ICPD at 319-356-5275. The release also says that while providing and showing support for sexual assault survivors is important, violence and property damage diminishes the message of the protest and may further deter survivors from reporting sexual assaults. That's a reference to Tuesday night protests at the Fiji House and an alleged Fiji party house on Iowa Avenue, during which some protesters turned to vandalism. Damage included graffiti, broken windows and doors, and cars being turned over. No injuries were reported and no arrests have been made. However, the ICPD is seeking information on the damage at both properties. Anyone with information, including security camera or cell phone footage, is asked to contact the ICPD at 319-356-5275. The protest was planned after reports that Fiji members drugged and raped a sophomore student on September 5th of 2020. With members allegedly recording and photographing the incident with their phones. A petition on Change.org calling for the fraternity to be removed from campus also claims no one in the fraternity said anything to stop the incident, and members were reportedly told to delete any proof. An Iowa City man was arrested Wednesday afternoon after a physical fight resulted in him brandishing a weapon. Police reports indicate 32-year-old Justin Short of the Town and Camps Apartments on Arthur Street was involved in a physical fight with two subjects before 5 p.m. Short allegedly walked to his vehicle after separating from the two and returned with a high-point 9mm handgun he retrieved from his vehicle. Short was carrying the weapon at his side as he approached the subjects. When interviewed by police, Short allegedly admitted to using meth a few hours earlier, and he was in possession of a meth pipe. He also reportedly admitted that he was still under the influence of meth and submitted to a urine test. Short was charged with possession of a dangerous weapon while intoxicated and possession of drug paraphernalia. Grocery chain Hy-Vee has announced it will be offering COVID-19 and flu vaccines Saturday before the University of Iowa football home opener. The walk-up clinic will be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the northwest corner of Kinnick Stadium across from Gate G. The game kicks off at 2:30. No appointment is necessary, and COVID-19 vaccine recipients will be required to stay in the observation area for 15 minutes. Visitors can choose between the Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, or Pfizer vaccines. Pfizer and Moderna booster shots for those eligible will also be available. In sports, University of Iowa head baseball coach Rick Heller released details of the Hawkeyes' 53-game regular season schedule on Thursday. The Hawkeyes will play 25 games at Banks Field during the 2022 season. Iowa opens the season with the Swig and Swine Classic, February 18th through 20th in Charleston, South Carolina. The Hawkeyes' home opener is set for March 1st against Loras College. The full schedule can be found at HawkeyeSports.com. And a reminder, we've got high school football for you Friday night on Kcjj as West High travels to Muscatine. Our full schedule of games this season can be found at 1630 kcjj.com by clicking on High School Sports. With KCJJ News, I'm Tommy Lang.
Kcjj Weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply, kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
With a look at your forecast, I'm meteorologist Ashley O'Connor. Cloudy and breezy tonight with spotty rain possible late. Low temps will fall to the low 60s. Overcast and windy tomorrow with widespread rain showers and a high temp near 72. A mix of sun and clouds on Saturday with highs in the upper 70s. Lots of sunshine on Sunday with high temps in the low 80s. Sunny on Labor Day with a high around 80 degrees. That's weather on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Currently, it's 72.
You're listening to Molly Suter on the mighty 1630 KCJJ.
It's honestly, like, really beautiful out, actually. Don't you agree, Cindy?
I do agree. I love this.
Oh,
I mean, I like spring better, but it's always nice when the fall starts.
You know, I think at this point I like them equally, just because spring is, like, right after winter. It's like everyone is happy, the days are longer, the snow is melting, and I will give it that, but I feel like I like fall weather better. Like, it's just very cozy, and the colors and Halloween and stuff like that. So I think I like them equally now. I used to be a fall fiend, but I'm equal now.
I mean, I just wish it was the same weather all year round. Nice,
Although,
65, 70.
Honestly, yeah. 65 to, like, 75, I would be definitely
I know
okay
you
with
appreciate things more that as they
Yeah.
change, but, like, with weather, I'm okay with that not changing. Change everything else.
that. I'm honestly...
Make the weather the same.
I'm okay with anything but winter full of snow.
I'm not looking
like-
forward to
I
the
like
snow,
snow.
but this is the first year in like 10 years I haven't had to be out all morning shoveling.
Oh, yeah. That'll be nice. Yeah, I don't shovel. I just hate driving in it. Like, I hate driving in it. I don't like driving anyway. And so just the fact that I have to constantly, you know, think, am I going to be dead in a ditch? Mm-hmm. It just adds a lot of stress to my day, and I don't like it.
Usually take a lot of vacation time during winter times because I leave early when
Yeah.
it starts snowing. But now I'm like literally 5 or 10 minutes away from work. And I think it'll be an okay drive because it's a pretty straight,
Yeah.
it's not any complicated. And the kids, I think, are all working in Iowa City by September, which makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah. Do they both live in Iowa City?
Katie's still with me.
Yeah.
And then the oldest, Allie, is on Lucas Street, and she just got a new job where she's going to be working, I think, downtown Iowa City somewhere, maybe.
Oh, nice.
Somewhere a little bit closer than Coralville, which is good.
I live in Coralville.
I mean, I used to drive back and forth from Iowa City to West Branch,
Yeah.
so, like, Iowa City to Coralville is not that far, but it is when
It
it's
feels kind of
snowing.
far. Yeah, for sure.
But, like, I've joked about how now that I've moved in town, I'm like, I don't want to go more than 10 blocks away
Exactly.
from where I live right now.
Sometimes I will, like, want to go to a restaurant for lunch in Iowa City, and I'll just be like, I don't want to drive all the way back to Coralville before work, and so I'll
Right.
just hang out at my parents' house in Iowa City, just because I don't want to drive the extra, 7 minutes to Coralville, if that. I'm like, that's just so wasteful on gas.
Yeah, try
and
20.
a
That was
waste of
like-
time.
Once I'm in Iowa City, I'm stuck there until I...
Yeah.
But now that I live in Iowa City, then I can just do whatever I want. I have all
Yeah.
sorts of time.
But the thing is, you're right. Like, when you are around everything now and you don't have to, like, go out to do things, you don't want to.
Right. Well, I never want to anyway, but
Yeah.
I just want to go within, like, maybe... Like, this place is perfect. Now that I've learned the shortcut, I don't have to go all the way around.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the shortcut's great.
I know, and I came here, I think, 2 or 3 times before I realized I don't have to go all the way over on Highway 6.
Oh, I wish you had told me that, so I could
No,
have
I'm
just
just an
told you,
idiot.
like, just
I should have
go on
known.
McAllister.
And I keep going to Coralville from my house. I keep going through town. Well, I can get on 218, like, really close to my house.
Yeah, you
And go
could.
straight to...
Yeah, you could.
And I just finally realized that last week.
It's a little bit, like, to get on 218, you have to drive further south, but it would probably take.
But there's no stoplights. There's no traffic. There's no. I mean, it's like a really quick jig over, and then you're on 218, and then you're on 80, and then you're boom right at the mall. It's awesome. Now that I know it, it just takes me a while. I'm very geography challenged.
See, I actually have a really good sense of direction, except when it comes to Iowa City downtown streets, apparently, because if I read an address and it's like, it's on Governor, I'm like, which one is Governor?
And they're also similar.
Yeah, they are. Or like, it's on Dubuque. Which one's Dubuque?
Like, I get Gilbert and what's the other one that's parallel to that confused, even though I'm like, really, I work right off Gilbert, basically. Like, there's two streets that are always, they crisscross Highway 6 parallel.
It's Gilbert and
Riverside, maybe? Yeah, and I get those two mixed up.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you want Riverside for where you are.
Right.
Yeah, but I always get Dubuque and Lynn confused. Not because, like, they sound alike, obviously, but they are pretty close to each other. And so I'm just like, which one comes first?
I just don't, I mean, I admit I just don't pay attention when Google tells me where to go. I just kind of, like my friend Carrie would always make fun of me because she lived in Cedar Rapids when I first became friends with her. And every time I'm like, what's your address again? And she's like, you don't know how to get here? You've been here like 4 times. I'm like, I know, but I don't, like, I just literally get your address, plug it in, and it tells me where to go, and then I forget it immediately.
My friend was like that. She's lived in Iowa City. Actually, she doesn't live here anymore. But when this happened, she had lived in Iowa City her entire life. And she's just like, how do we get to this restaurant from, like, your apartment? And I'm like, you've been here several times. You still live in this neighborhood. What are you doing? She's like, I never have any idea where I am. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
With the exception of 1 year, I have lived here my entire life.
Where did you live for that 1 year?
California.
You lived in California for a year?
Santa Rosa, yeah.
Dude, I don't think I knew that.
Not quite a year, like 9-10 months I lived there, but yeah.
Why did you live there?
I followed a boy.
Yes.
It was fun, though. I mean, it was fine. Nothing tragic came out of it, so that's good.
Did you like living in California? Obviously not, because you moved
Well,
back here.
I mean, Iowa has draw, because when your family's here, you come back to family, and I don't know, like, if I ever go anywhere else, I'll come back, because I keep trying to talk my dad into moving to Arizona so that I can go down there with him. Because I would move, from family.
Why do so many Iowans move to Arizona?
It's warm.
I know, no, but like specifically Arizona, I get like moving from Iowa to like a warm climate, but I know so many people who moved from here to like the Phoenix area, and I'm like, why Phoenix? Why specifically Arizona?
Aren't there like a bunch of businesses that are kind of doubled down there? Like the owners own, like, I want to say Airliner is one of them that has it. There's an airliner in Arizona also.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know if that's part of it.
I mean,
but...
I guess that would make sense, but I don't. I've been to Phoenix. I think it was overrated. It's too big. It's too wide, and so there's not like a, how like New York, it's on an island, so things are pretty cramped together, and you can get to one place or the other very easily with public transit. And I didn't take the public transit in Phoenix, but I can imagine it's probably not as streamlined as places like DC or New York or whatever. And I just feel like since there's not really like a central place, it's confusing for me why the draw is there.
No snow. That would be the only.
I guess, but why Phoenix specifically?
I don't know.
You could go to Florida where there's a beach. Like, Phoenix is just hot and like dry.
But it's driving distance maybe a little bit shorter. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, because in Florida, unless you live on like the Panhandle, you have to go like further down into Florida to get. So yeah, I guess it's probably
Arizona's far enough to get nice weather, but then close enough to be able to drive back and see grandkids and stuff.
I'm actually going to look
I don't know. I'm always
the driving distance between Phoenix and Iowa City.
I'm just jealous of the snowbirds, to be honest with you. Like, I want to do that when I grow up.
Are you not grown up?
Like, really grow up.
Ah.
Like, grown up like I was supposed to be grown up by now, but retired in 5 years.
Right. Hello, phone. Oh my god. It's taking so long. Why? Hello. How are you today, Cindy? What
Great.
did you
Okay,
do?
so how far did you get into Beforeigners? Because we might as well talk about that for an hour.
I finished it.
Okay, so I have not finished it. I tried. I tried. I'm like, okay, this is my homework I gave to myself to rewatch it.
I finished it. Yeah, there's only 6 episodes. I didn't realize there was only 6 episodes.
Yes, I didn't realize that either. But it's an HBO type thing, so
So it's like an hour-long episode, and they're pretty dense. Like, a lot happens, so I understand that. But how far have you gotten?
I mean, I watched the whole thing like a year or two ago when it first came out.
Oh yeah,
and I just started episode 3 before I came here.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot how wonderfully structured the whole series is.
Yeah.
Like the ongoing crime that's happening, and then they have their own little individual stories, and then the whole how did this time travel happen? And I love the concept. Like, I love time travel, but like so many movies and shows get it wrong in that they let people go back and forth, and they have that whole, like, what if you meet yourself? And, that kind of distraction that gets confusing, or they have the big long, episode at the end of the series that people are crisscrossing and, you can't keep track of everything.
Mm-hmm.
This is really simple. 2 time periods, jump forward to this time period.
Well, there's
for some unknown reason.
Actually, 4. It's the Stone Age. It's Vikings. It's late 19th century, and then modern day. So it's 4 time periods.
But everyone's coming to the modern day, right?
Yes.
That's a good point, because I thought Vikings and
Stone Age were the
same.
same.
Age people were the same.
Nope.
But no, you're right. You're right.
No, they're about what? Oh gosh,
actually, thousands of years difference.
Like thousands of years, but I'm not going to pretend to know what the actual number is.
But I like that. I mean, I like that the idea of that. And that you can't really go back, or at least they don't think you can go back.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a good show if you don't mind reading.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that last time, that if you don't... I completely understand why somebody wouldn't want to read their TV show, just because, like, if you wanted to read, you'd read a book, right?
Right.
But you miss out on a lot of, like, quality TV and film if you don't. So I think this show is definitely...
I am somebody who does not like to read. I mean, I like to read books, but I don't like to read my TV.
I mean, that's fair, and I usually don't either. So if I'm in, like, if I'm really tired, or if I'm not in the right mood, like, I won't watch a foreign movie or a foreign TV show, simply because I don't want to read.
Yeah.
I want to just watch something kind of mindless, and I'll turn on How I Met Your Mother or something.
Well, and I have, since TikTok,
yeah.
I have definitely sunk into I watch something sort of half on my TV, and then I scroll through TikTok, and then I play a game, and then,
it's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, that's another symptom of ADHD, Cindy. I really do think you have it.
I was thinking that we should have just a segment of, here's why Cindy thinks she has ADHD, because I have a good, cute story, actually.
Oh, well, tell
So my... if you follow me on Facebook, you'll know that I have this table that I've had forever, and I had it stuck in my shed, and I was going to move it I was just simply going to move it from the shed to my spare room.
Yes.
I had to take off the table legs because of the way the house is built, and it would totally get stuck in the...
Yep.
And it's just me moving it. So I get out, I start unscrewing the legs. I got done with one leg, and I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if I should paint this. This would look like actually kind of cool painted. Or maybe just, maybe I'll just wipe them down or something. And so I put it off to the side. By the time I got the 4th leg off, I'm like, okay, I'm going to paint this. I'm going to put some trim around the side, and then I'm going to try to figure out how to redo the top of the thing. So I've started this
project in their head.
Simple, literally moving it from one place to another to this elaborate. I had to go out and get sandpaper and more spray paint, and I'm going to get some duct tape for the trim, and it's a whole thing now. And I told my sister this at breakfast Saturday morning, because she's like, so what's the deal with the table? What are you going to do with it? And so I was telling her, and I told her the whole process thing, and she's like, are you sure you don't have ADHD? I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't. I mean, I'm pretty sure I do. But
with everything I learn about you, the more I think that you do. That you do have it.
Well, that's what we had.
I'm relating to everything you're saying.
And that's why I'm on ADHD TikTok, because I'm like, I thought everybody did. Doesn't everyone have this process? Like, how do you live your life?
It baffles me that some people are just like, okay, I'm going to move this table, and then they just move it.
Or like I'm gonna do the dishes, and then you just do the dishes.
No, absolutely not. I can't do that.
I mean, how does that? I don't even know how that works.
People without executive dysfunction. What is that executive function?
Well, and that's what I was asking my sister, because I think she had been diagnosed when she was in school and took medication, and I was asking her, and maybe people should call in and tell us our experiences, because, and you can tell me, if you take medication for it, does that inhibit, because to me, that's creativity.
You know, okay, so my experience with meds, I was diagnosed when I was like 8 or 9. My mom could probably tell you more details about that. But I was around 3rd grade, and I started taking Ritalin, just like a half pill, because I was a tiny child. And apparently, Mom told me that the first day I had it at school, I came home, and I was like, Mom, I understand math now. And I was understanding things. I was like getting more done. I was less distracted. So all of those things help. But they don't take away your imagination or creativity or whatever.
I know, but like, I don't know if I had simply done the task that I was supposed to do. I don't know that I would, like, I'm excited about this new table.
No, my sister and I were talking about that. Like, if you had the choice, would you like cure your ADHD? And I don't think I would, just because it's kind of fun having it.
I know,
because you are more creative, and you do, like, I don't know, and you're just more imaginative.
Right, like the whole, like, I had redone my deck. That literally, you know how that started? Painting the deck to protect it from rotting some more.
Yeah.
That's all how that started. And next thing I know, I'm like putting up lattice, and I'm painting stuff, and I'm finding a table, and I'm like, you know, the hyper focus or whatever when you get a project done.
And sometimes, like, I'm not saying you need ADHD to be creative. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I just feel like if I did not have it, and I was like, you know, painting a deck or whatever, I would just paint the deck and be done with it, and maybe not come up with those, like, splintering ideas for that, you know?
To me, it's like the wandering mind that fuels my creativity, and I know other people get it other ways, is really what's happening. But I don't know how would that work.
It's just how the brain works. Our brains work.
But then on the other hand, if I medicate, I would get more stuff done, and I would have more time to be creative.
Yeah, but okay, so here's the thing. So when I got older, I was on Adderall from high school and in college. And the thing about that is you take it, and then for me, it would, you know, hyper-focus. You know, you can have hyper-focus without the meds, but the meds just really help with that. And so I would get all my work done in like 2 hours, and then I would have like 6 hours of just being medicated and like nothing to do. And so I would just like stare off into space or like be a zombie. And that's something I didn't like. And that's why when I graduated college, I stopped taking the meds because I didn't want that to happen anymore. But yeah, so you just have to like, I guess my solution for that would probably be a lower dose than what I was on.
Yeah.
But there are pros and cons to medication, and I'm sure that's true for any disorder out there.
Yeah. Well,
so So if your sister was diagnosed when you were kids, why weren't you? Were you just not displaying?
I'm talking about the sister that's 10 years younger than me. So I would not have been like involved in that process.
Oh, okay.
Plus, when I went to school, they didn't really have that diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm thinking there are several kids that could have been managed better that never were on. They were just put like in a special class or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, and I don't know whatever happened to some of them, but I just don't remember there being, like when my brother and sister, they're 10 years younger than me, when they were going to school, that was when I remember seeing, and we had foster kids that were in, like younger than us. So that was when we started seeing like people being like diagnosed and medicated and helped.
And what was that? The 90s?
Probably. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I was diagnosed in the early 2000s. So that checks out.
I mean, I graduated in 89. So by the time I graduated, that's probably. And I never had a problem in school, really. I don't remember ever.
So perhaps so when I was diagnosed, they were talking to my mom and dad about like the symptoms that affected me in the classroom, like the inattentiveness or the distractibility or just like the not understanding things for various reasons. And so that's how they caught it, is the behavior in the classroom I was demonstrating. If you were just fine in the classroom, if your symptoms may have manifested in other ways people didn't notice, you wouldn't have they wouldn't have caught it.
I can't remember what there was one TikToker that was talking about how she's being diagnosed as an adult with ADHD, and she did stuff as a kid. And a lot of the things that she listed off, one was like something about reading. I can't remember what it was. Like you read when you weren't supposed to.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Like that was totally me. My parents always laugh about how I would, like hide under my blanket with a flashlight after bedtime. And they had a hard time, punishing me because I was reading.
Because you were reading.
But,
yeah.
It was past bedtime.
For me, it was like during class when I thought like I was done with whatever I was doing, but the teacher was like still talking. And they were like, put the book away. And I'm like, but it's good.
And I always did well in school, so I don't think that was, I don't know if there's a such thing as adult onset ADHD, but
no, I don't know if there is. There's just, like you said, maybe in the 80s they just weren't aware of that, or just maybe weren't looking for it. But by the time I was in school, they were definitely looking for behavioral disorders or ADHD or whatever. So that's why I was diagnosed, is just because of when I was born and when I was in school. If I had been born 10 years earlier, maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't have.
Right.
So I don't know.
They just didn't have it when I was in school. No one had it.
Oh my God, shut up. Shut up.
I mean, we had to walk uphill both ways in the snow.
10
miles to
I've
school.
heard that before. Oh, by the way, it's 23 hours to Phoenix. So it would
drive?
It would take you a few days to get there.
I mean, I should know that because I know we drove as a family when we were kids.
Oh, wow, really? I can't imagine that. I really can't. But anyway,
one time we drove, my dad worked down there, like they sent him, his job did, because they needed help or something. And we drove back in a pickup truck before seatbelt, all that crazy seatbelt stuff and child seats.
Before we cared about children.
My mom and dad sat on the bench seat with my sister in between them, and then I sat literally where the feet go. That's where I sat and read. I remember reading Flowers in the Attic because I was obsessed with that series.
Oh, my God.
In the little wheel well for 23 hours. See, we didn't have seatbelts or child seats, and we just did fine. Had there been an accident, I would have been crushed.
Right?
I mean, even my parents are like, I can't believe we did that. But we also took family trips in a station wagon, and the funnest part was when my sister and I would be in the way back,
Yeah.
And it was like this metal, you know, like slick surface, and we'd be on blankets, and they would make a turn, and we'd just go sliding and sliding all around in the back.
It's so fun. I remember I was in DC once, and there was like an old taxi cab with like a jumper seat in the back, and I could look like outside the back window, and that was really fun. But I had, you know, a seatbelt and stuff. But I've definitely ridden in the back of a truck.
Yeah, pickup trucks.
Yeah,
Just do that all the time too.
I've only done that a few times just because, like, it is dangerous. But
Yeah.
it was fun. It was very fun.
Fun times. Those were the good old days.
Yeah.
We were so horrible. Have I mentioned how horrible the 80s were?
You have. No, and every time you say that, I'm just like, you know what? Maybe it's okay. I wasn't around back then.
I think it's probably okay.
Maybe it's okay.
The fashion was not great.
It wasn't. No, I like aspects of every decade's fashion, and like the 80s included, but I think the 80s is my least favorite fashion-wise.
I mean, it's the easiest to replicate because it's like neon and big hair. That's all you need.
It's neon and big hair, yeah, for sure. So I think the fashion was the worst part of the 80s, and then the best part was pop music. Pop music in the 80s was
Well,
really good.
Debbie Gibson was 80s, definitely. I love Debbie Gibson.
Yeah. But I think my favorite decade for fashion right now is the 70s. It's very...
But I'm like, I love the 50s.
Colors.
I love the 50s. Like, fashion-wise, not anything else.
Not maybe society-wise.
I mean, I'll say that in the 50s, I don't think they did know any better.
Right.
Because in the 50s, they were like, smoke! If you're pregnant, it's good for the baby!
For the baby.
That was a
And
good decade as an example of
Smoke and
no
drink.
one knew science back then.
Right.
And now we have science.
And people will
And people are just willfully ignoring it.
But yeah, I think that's so wild that...
Actually, I think it's the people that had parents that smoked when they were pregnant. And now they are
You might be onto
the
something.
people that are
You might be onto something.
being pissy about masks.
I'm more concerned. Well, I'm equally concerned about the amount of people who aren't vaccinated. There's only about, 53% of people in the U.S. that are vaccinated? The number is way too low.
And I keep fooling myself thinking, oh, there's got to be more than that. It's free. I saw a clip about some comedian who caught somebody in the audience that hadn't been vaccinated. And he, like, I thought humorously, is like, dude, seriously, why aren't you? I'm like, you could just go up the street and get it for free. It's free.
It's free. We love free stuff.
I mean, seriously.
Who doesn't love free stuff?
And, like, there's some place, I mean, if you had a Krispy Kreme, I think they were giving you free donuts.
They were. You get so many perks now. But I got it, like, as soon as I could. I got mine March 23rd.
I mean, so luckily my youngest daughter was one of the first because she worked at a nursing home.
Yes.
Amy probably was
Yep,
too, I'm
Amy
guessing.
too.
And then it took us a while. And I mean, I have to admit, I'm not real proactive when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I was very thankful that my work arranged for a clinic.
Oh, see,
I happened to be there when it was going on.
I was just so anxious, so I was like, please inject me with
You
this
were one of those people
syrup.
that called probably and got on all the
Yes.
free. Yeah, I didn't do any of that.
I got several other people signed up for their vaccine appointments too, because I was like refreshing the Hy-Vee page.
But you were more motivated. I'm still regretting telling people that I was vaccinated.
Because now they want
I'm
you to
sorry, I
hang
can't go out. I'm vaccinated.
Hey, you know what? You can now blame Delta if you want. Be like, I'm actually just really concerned about this Delta variant. I don't want to
I just use my dog. I got to go home and check on the dog. I don't know. I can't leave the dog for very long.
Yeah.
I was gone all day. I need to hang out with my dog.
No, you can't leave Moosey.
No.
You can't. He's a good boy.
He is a good boy.
He's a good boy. I met a good boy today. I was gleaning with Table to Table. We got some watermelon.
Ooh. You had to pick watermelon?
Yes.
How do you even do that?
So-
Like you just pick it up?
Well, it grows on a vine, and so you cut the vine, and then you take the watermelon and you put it in a crate.
You had to, like, pick it up, though?
Yes.
That's a lot of, like, watermelons are not...
Yeah, it was a workout. It was definitely a workout, and I'm definitely going to be...
Do you know what you're gleaning before you get there?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yes.
Because I think I would get there and go, yeah, I'm not doing this.
No, no, that's
Give me some peas. I can pick up peas.
That's not what's happening. Nora emails me, and she's like, hey, we're going to glean watermelon on Wednesday or whenever. And I'm like, I can do it. Yay! Anyway, so we met this cat. This cat was following us out to the watermelon patch, and it was very, very vocal. It was meow, 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 meow. And, like, it was crawling up my leg. It wanted to be held. So I was holding the kitty. It was so cute. He was a good boy. His name was Roger.
Oh, cute.
Roger the cat. I think that's awesome. Also, I saw the largest pigs I've ever seen in my life. They were 600 pounds.
Yikes.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of bacon.
That's a lot of it. Yeah, they said they were bred for meat. And I'm like, that makes sense. You could get a lot of bacon from a 600-pound pig.
I always think of, though, the people that, isn't that like people would get the mini pigs, but they weren't really mini?
No,
like
they would just get like piglets, and then they would grow into like
normal size
pigs. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you expected, but it's a pig.
But yeah, so I want to see that cat again. I would pick more watermelon.
And yes, Molly, you're a better person than we all are.
Why?
So you volunteer.
That's not why I told the story, Cindy.
In a roundabout way. That's called humble brag.
No.
You know, when I was out gleaning.
I did not mean
when I was volunteering, because I'm way better than everyone else.
You know what? It's not because I was humble bragging. It's because we do a lot of work with them.
Oh, and also, yes. Yeah. And you can still donate.
You can still donate at table2table.org.
Have you set up your monthly donation?
Actually, they are moving locations and they do need donations. So you can go to table2table.org and donate so they can have a smooth transition from their old location to their new location in Pepperwood Plaza, which is actually really close to a lot of the agencies that they...
Why does that sound familiar?
It's where Stuff is. Stuff, etc.
Oh, like where...
In Taco Bell?
Oh, like, okay. In that little
the old
strip
Kmart.
mall.
The old Kmart.
The old Kmart. Okay.
Yes. It's like right behind the old Kmart.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what you can do. You can donate.
Like, that's in my neighborhood.
It is.
It's within the 10-block radius. Or maybe I should say the mile radius. I'll
it's
go
not
a mile.
block.
I'll go a mile. I don't even know how long a mile is, but...
No, I feel like it's more than a mile away from you. Actually, way more.
If it's over by, like, before Sycamore Mall, right?
Yeah.
It's where the old Econo Foods used to be. You don't know that. Never mind.
No, I remember... I remember Econo Foods.
Pepperwood, I'm trying to figure out.
No, I remember Econo Foods. That's the opposite side. I'm talking about the old Kmart, like...
I know where the old Kmart is.
The Pizza Hut.
Is it in one of those Pizza Hut, like, outbuilding type places, or is it in that little mall?
It's in the mall. It's
that
in
building.
The,
okay.
It's in the strip mall.
Where is it? Go, because there's the thrift store. There's Salvation Army, right? There's a jump trampoline place in there also.
Yeah. No.
And there's Stuff.
No, it's like behind that. It's like where the police station is. It's where Slumberland is.
That little strip mall area where the Stuff used to be.
Yes.
In the corner. Okay.
Yes.
I think there's some openings there.
I think that's where Parkview Church is now. But yeah, they're going into that place.
And there used to be a grocery store. I thought it was Econo Foods, but that could be the wrong. Cubs maybe is what it was.
No, Cubs was...
There was a grocery store in that little spot, yeah.
Okay. I'll believe you. But, oh wait, there was. Yes, I remember that. I don't know what it's called, but I do remember going there because they had French Toast Crunch. I remember that when I was a kid. That's where we got
It was like
French
a discount
toast
grocery store, if I remember
yes.
correctly. But...
Was it Aldi?
No.
Was that where Aldi was?
Am I doing cut?
I don't remember.
If
does anyone remember? 319-358-1630.
I finally memorized our phone number here.
That's the number if you have any idea what we're talking about. It's where the old Stuff used to be. in Pepperwood Plaza behind the old Kmart. Does anyone remember what that was called?
And it was a Big Lots
Yeah.
for a period of time.
Big Lots was...
I know I bought it.
I remember
I know.
Big Lots.
I mean, is it... So, is the furniture store gone out of there?
Mm-mm. No, Slumberland's still
Okay,
there.
because I know I bought a bed from them like 10 years ago.
Okay, I bought a dresser from them months ago, and it's still being waited. I'm still waiting for it to be shipped from, like, the manufacturer. And I don't want to cancel it and go out and find something else, so I'm just kind of dealing with it. But also, I got this specifically because it came assembled, and I don't have to assemble it. Because I don't want to do that. I spent over an hour assembling my little tiny kid's piano keyboard.
Well, if you
and
ever
that was enough.
If you're in a bind and you need something sooner, I highly recommend Restore over on Scott Boulevard.
Yes, I got a
Dressers
couch.
are tricky.
I know.
Because you got to test. I've bought brand new dressers, and within a year, the drawers have gotten all wonky. And it just aggravates me. So I'm like, I'm never doing a dresser ever again.
See, I'm using my my childhood dresser, and all of the drawers are warped from 25 odd years of use, and it's just time for another piece. I think.
And it's just like the drawer slide thingies. Get loose or whatever. Yeah. And some of that stuff I know you can fix, but it's like, I don't really have the mindset to do that kind of thing.
I also got, like one of those, not a just, what, a chest of drawers? Is that what you would call it? I don't know, but the one that's like lower to the ground, and so I can put like a mirror or something where, like on that wall, so I can use it as like a vanity as well. And I'm excited for that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love new furniture. I love old furniture, but I'm very much into what can I get for cheap or free right now.
Yeah, and
it's a nice challenge.
No, the Restore is definitely a good one, because I got a couch there that was like $5.
I know, and the prices I think are so far that I've seen. I haven't gotten any furniture from there, but I keep popping in to get paint that I have yet to use inside because I got distracted. And that's another thing about this outdoor space. I really don't spend a lot of time outside.
Right.
So I don't really know why I spent so much time outside.
It's
creating a space.
It's cute, I guess.
I mean, I will spend time out there throwing the ball for moose, which I guess it's nice to have a cute little place, but
yeah. Like if you ever have people over, and you said your daughter's still with you, right?
Yeah. And eventually when I get the other seating fixed up, I can have seating for like 6 people, but I'm not ever inviting 6 people over to my house. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
My pretend party that I'm going to have in the backyard.
My sister and I keep telling ourselves, we're like, we should invite people over. And then we just never do, because that means you have to clean up. And we never want to do that. Yeah. So we never do, just by having this kind of big backyard. We occasionally have a friend of ours who live very close by walk over with their dogs and visit, but we've never had like more than 2 people over.
Right. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
And then you got to entertain them for the entire time that you're there. You can't just kick people out of your house, unfortunately.
I'm okay. Well, I'm good at entertaining people because, well, I'm here, aren't I? People love the show. They love us. Are you not entertained?
Of course they are. There's
nobody
in the chat room, by the way.
No, well, there's 4 people.
There are 4. I just looked and there was like 2, and I think one of them was me.
They're just not talking.
No, there's 5 because I jumped back on. Oh,
I almost cursed.
Santa Rosa's nice.
Yeah. Steve told me too that there's a weird thing going on with the counts for YouTube Live. Like, you could look on your phone and it's 3 people, and you could look on desktop like a second later and it's like 6 people. And I know he watches us on his like smart TV, and so he's like, I don't think that like registers with like the viewer count. So who knows how many people are watching this stream, honestly.
Well, one person did chat, so we got that going for us.
They're a regular.
Yes, I don't know their real name, though.
You. Yeah, it looks like their username is just a key smash.
Does that mean he or she just...
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know they also watch the morning show, because I come on, like, on Monday, and I see that they've commented on the morning show.
Cool.
Yeah. So
well, hello, YCTD, blah, 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 2001.
Just a fan of the station, and we really appreciate it.
I'm guessing they were born in 2001 or they graduated in 2001.
Oh, my. I don't I don't think so. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't think we have a lot of people listening who were born in 2001.
That would make him like what?
20.
Oh.
That would make him 20
know.
years old.
There's some old souls out there that listen to AM and...
Yeah.
But maybe he has 2001 kids.
Maybe.
No.
Well, I think that would be very sweet if you were like, my life changed in 2001 when my kid was born, so I'm going to use that as my username. Like,
I mean, stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
I use a code that I used to have to check my dad's voicemail, and I use that code now for everything. It's not even my code. It's not even my numbers.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yep.
They haven't commented, so I think maybe they're done now.
They don't know that we're talking about them.
Or they're just not listening anymore. That's, like, valid.
And we talked about Santa Rosa, like, an hour ago, so.
It's an old comment. But, okay, so the computer screen is situated far enough away, and my eyesight is just bad enough where I can't really read that. I can read that they said something, but not what
I can too, and I've got the
was.
added benefit when I go in to look, you can see my face go.
Yay! Yes,
what does that say? The squint?
Huh? One time, like, I turned on the stream and it was just like a shot of my mouth. It was so gross, and I'm like, ew! I'm never doing that again.
That's the best kind of screenshots. But people can listen to us on YouTube at any time, but also chat there if you have any questions or if you want to listen to us talk about random things.
Mostly TV.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So for movie night on Monday night, I watched Captain America. Have you seen that?
I'm going to let you answer that for me.
Yes.
Who's the one during the pandemic that watched all of the Marvel movies in order?
Oh, was that you?
That was me.
Oh, was that you?
Who has two thumbs and watched all of them in order according to Disney? So all of the Disney license that did not include Spider-Man or Hulk, I think.
Right, yeah. So we watched Captain America because I said that I liked the first Wonder Woman movie, and my friend was like, oh, then you'll probably like Captain America. It's actually very similar, like, it takes place in, like, during a world war.
Okay,
It has, like, someone goes on a journey. It's just very similar, like, a similar formula, if you will. And I understand what he means by that.
But it's not Wonder Woman.
It's not Wonder Woman, no. But it is Chris Evans.
I mean, he's not bad to look at.
No, he's not.
That was my oldest daughter's favorite superhero, which I loved because I'm like, oh, he's the guy that you bring home. Because I had a theory that like all of these heroes are like kind of archetypes of boyfriends.
Right.
So, you've got like the Captain America who's like Mr. Manners, and he's really probably pretty vanilla in every area. But he is the guy that you bring home to mom and dad.
He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
Stable.
He's going to be a good dad.
Not too crazy.
He's always going to have... But I got to admit, later on, when he, like... went against... I mean, you should have seen all these movies already. If I've seen them, you should have seen them. But spoiler alert, he goes a little...
I haven't seen Winter Soldier yet.
I don't even remember what happens in that. But
well.
he does. Okay, he grows a beard. We'll let you infer what that.
Oh my gosh.
He goes a little dark.
Oh.
And I liked him a lot. But in the beginning, he was definitely the guy who brought home to mom and dad.
For sure.
Hulk was the guy that,
has a lot of anger.
He only gets angry. He's only that way when he's angry.
No.
He's the one that you make excuses for because he's got a mental illness that he hasn't quite gotten a hold of.
Yeah, and then Tony Stark's the one that's got jokes.
And he's the man whore.
Yep.
I mean,
the woman.
He's the playboy that never settled down. Although I don't know. I guess he did with Pepper. But
was there another one? What's the other one?
Oh, we don't even care about Hawkeye, do we?
Oh wait, who's Thor? Because I feel
Thor's the hunky gym rat.
Hey, because I feel like that's also kind of in with the Captain America archetype.
Probably, but
I think there's a lot of overlap there.
Yes.
But yeah, the gym bro, for sure.
I think he would be somebody you'd bring home to mom and dad.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
That hammer. And again, I liked him better when he went a little dark.
So you like Loki then? He's always dark.
I don't know. He's a little too...
I'm saying this never having seen Thor or Thor 2 or Thor 3.
And you haven't seen Loki, the TV show. Okay. Nope. I highly recommend that. I think you'd like it. It's really quirky.
Okay, but you said that for The Mandalorian, and I didn't like that.
Okay, I said that mostly because I really like The Mandalorian. And I want somebody else to like it, too.
Is it on Disney?
Yes.
Okay.
Loki is, yes.
Listen.
Loki is better if you like Tom Hiddleston or whatever his name is.
I love Tom Hiddleston.
Okay, then you will love this. I don't even know why you haven't seen it yet.
I love him. I've seen several interviews with him, and he just seems like the nicest guy. And, yeah, I really like Tom Hiddleston. So you're right, I should watch it.
You should watch it just for that. And, oh, God, what's his name? The blonde guy.
Chris Hemsworth?
No, he's got a brother, and he's not, no. The other guy that's in it. What?
Are you talking about one of the Hemsworth brothers?
No. Hold on. He's well known in other movies, like he was in not Bridesmaids, but in Wedding Crashers.
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson. Not Owen, but who's the other one? Luke is the blonde hair with the funny nose, right?
No, Luke's
the good-looking one.
Depends.
The better-looking one.
Yeah. No, are you talking about Owen Wilson?
Owen the blonde.
Owen the blonde.
He's in it.
Okay.
And some other people I didn't really recognize, but it's a cute show, but it does have a lot of time jumping, so it gets a little confusing.
Okay, so if I watch the show, will I understand it having not seen Thor or Thor 2 or The Avengers or The Avengers Go to Paris or whatever?
They reference some things, but it really is a story in and of itself.
Okay. I am looking for a new TV show to watch, so.
I mean, and it's, I think, 6 or 7 episodes. I don't think it's a really long season.
Oh, okay.
It's a quick watch. I think you'll like it. I think the only thing you have to know is that he caused trouble in the entire Marvel universe.
Okay.
And so they kind of reference that trouble a little bit, but I don't even remember everything that he did because I watched the movies. Originally, I watched them all when they first came out, and then I watched them all all in a row, so it's all blurred together.
Right.
There's some guy on the news. I watched it on the news.
All right. Okay.
Who is taking all of the movies and clipping them all together.
Yes.
In one long movie, and he's adding in director scenes.
Oh my gosh.
Where
that's a person with a lot of time on their hands.
That person has some major hyper focus, and I'm really jealous of that.
Wait, so this will be it's
going to be 1 million hours of movies.
Like a 2-week-long movie?
I would guess. I mean, it took me a couple weeks to watch all of the movies just individually.
So, okay, so not only is he going to just put together, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, back to back to back, but no, just scenes?
I think he's putting it in, I think he said he was putting it in timeline order, so you could watch it as if it was one whole movie.
Right. Interesting.
But then he also said he was going to add in like the director scenes instead of like the scene that was cut. He would put in the director's choice.
All right. So we got that.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Is this a good time to take a news and weather break?
Yeah, I was just looking at the clock. It's 5 till 8.
Yeah, so who knows what we're going to talk about in the next hour?
Because we don't.
Because we don't. We don't do radio prep. I don't do radio prep for this. This is just us talking. All right, so we will be back after some news and weather. You're listening to the mighty 1630 KCJJ.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Dell Small Business.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. In Chicago, remnants of Hurricane Ida hit the north and still packed a punch, causing historic flooding and at least 41 deaths. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy.
At least 23 New Jerseyans have lost their life to this storm. The majority of these deaths were individuals who got caught in their vehicles by flooding and were overtaken by the water.
CBS's Mola Lengi with more.
Brenda Vasquez and her New Jersey family were evacuated before dawn.
I'm so sad. I'm terrified. A house, my belongings, my kid, it's so terrified.
More than 40 people are dead, among them a veteran state trooper in Connecticut and a 2-year-old, and more are still missing.
We're still uncovering the true depth of the loss. The human loss, which is hard to imagine that people simply in their cars, in their homes, in their basements, succumb to the ravages of a brutal storm.
In Pennsylvania, roads along the Schuylkill River, Philadelphia, are still under deep water.
Rescue crews are heading towards the hurricane-ravaged parts of Louisiana. CBS's Jim Crisula reports.
I'm Jim Crisula in Mobile, Alabama. The cavalry is on the way. Heading east from New Orleans on Interstate 10, I've seen scores of utility company trucks, flatbed tractor-trailers loaded with new telephone poles, temporary housing trailers, and scores of portable emergency generators, all headed toward Hurricane Ida-battered southeast Louisiana. I also saw several Florida state troopers heading toward New Orleans to help with security.
Texas clinics are struggling to help their patients after a new abortion laws. Chris Fox in Austin.
The Texas abortion ban has left clinics statewide trying to serve their patients in different ways now. Planned Parenthood's Sarah Wheat.
For the patients who might be able to secure the resources, we are connecting them with health centers in other states.
Some anti-abortion groups are trying to make it easier to catch those performing illegal abortions by setting up anonymous online tip lines. Texas Right to Life's Kimberly Schwartz.
ProLifeWhistleblower.com is designed to help Texans, if they have information about an illegal abortion, to report.
Chris Fox for CBS News, Austin.
A former Georgia prosecutor has been indicted on misconduct charges for her role in the murder investigation of Ahmaud Arbery. A grand jury has indicted former Brunswick DA Jackie Johnson on charges of violating her oath of office and hindering a law enforcement officer. Arbery was shot to death in February 2020 after a white father and son armed themselves and pursued the 25-year-old black man after spotting him running in their neighborhood. This is CBS News.
Dell Technologies Labor Day event can save your business up to 45% on select PCs built for business with Windows 10 Pro. Rise to the challenge. Call 877-ASK-DELL for a Dell Technologies advisor.
What can give you a competitive edge in today's red-hot housing market? Rocket can. That's because Rocket Mortgage can give you a verified approval. It could help your offer stand out. Rocket Technology provides a rock-solid verification of your income, assets, and credit, giving sellers greater confidence in you. Go to rocketmortgage.com or call us today at 8338-ROCKET.
A verified approval is based on an underwriter's analysis of your individual financial information, appraisal, and title report. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
And Doug.
Check it out, Limu. A roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Look! An emu wearing sunglasses!
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. From the Hertine and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Hertine and Stalker Jewelers. Making memories, making moments.
Now, Iowa City's News First.
I'm Tommy Lang with Kcjj News. A second night of protests against the Phi Gamma Delta, or Fiji fraternity, occurred on Wednesday, this time at University President Barbara Wilson's house. The Daily Iowan reports that about 200 people gathered for the first part of the protest, calling for the fraternity to be removed from campus. A walkout was followed by a sit-in protest in front of the president's house at noon. The front of the house was lined with barricades, blocking access to the house and up to the front door. Students also protested outside the Fiji House on Ellis Boulevard and reconvened at Wilson's house on Church Street Wednesday night. The DI reports that chants included, "You're all guilty," referencing the members of Phi Gamma Delta, and "You're complicit," referencing UI administrators and their response to sexual assault allegations. Police blocked off entry to Church Street from Dubuque Street and Clinton Street to prevent cars from driving through the protest, which ended at the Old Capitol. Speeches were given and signs were placed on the steps of the Capitol, which was also blocked by barricades. One protester even stuck a dildo to the front door. Iowa City police have made a second arrest relating to an Iowa City parking ramp riot and a shooting on Scott Boulevard. 22-year-old Narada Poole of Stanwyck Drive was booked into the Johnson County Jail just after 9 p.m. Tuesday. Police say Poole and 21-year-old Markel Poole were part of an assault on two individuals at the Capitol Street parking ramp on June 5th. The two were reportedly assaulted by 5 to 6 individuals, the Pooles being among them. They were identified by surveillance video. Narada Poole is also accused of lying in order to purchase 4 guns from Shields in Coralville between April 2nd and August 9th. On July 27th, search warrants were executed on residences associated with Poole. They turned up evidence that Poole was a user of illegal drugs, something he claimed he was not when filling out the required paperwork to purchase the guns. Marijuana and drug paraphernalia tied to Poole were allegedly found when officers served a search warrant on a residence on Peterson Street. Poole is charged with 4 counts of giving false information to purchase a weapon and 1 count each of participating in a riot, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. If convicted on all charges, he faces a maximum of over 23 years in prison. The ICPD says the Pooles were also involved in a shooting on July 18th on the 500 block of South Scott Boulevard. Investigators found over 50 shell casings, indicating multiple weapons were fired. Police located damage to vehicles and buildings, but no injuries were reported. Markel Poole was taken into custody just before midnight Monday and faces charges of participating in a riot, 2 counts of dominion or control of a firearm as a felon, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. If convicted on all counts, he could be sentenced to over 13 years in prison. More than 40% of confirmed coronavirus cases in Iowa were among children and people in their 20s. The state reports an additional 8,907 new positive cases and 29 additional deaths to bring the state's total to 6,307. The 7-day rolling average of cases has been gradually increasing since early June and is now at 8,225 cases per week, a level not seen since January. The data shows that 22% of the positive tests in the last week were among children 17 and younger, and 20% of positives were among those in their late teens and 20s. In sports, the University of Iowa baseball team has announced its spring schedule. You can go to HawkeyeSports.com for more information. And we've got high school football Friday night on KCJJ as West High travels to Muscatine. Go to 1630kcjj.com and click on high school sports for our full schedule. With KCJJ News, I'm Tommy Lang.
Kcjj Weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
With a look at your forecast, I'm meteorologist Ashley O'Connor. Cloudy and breezy tonight with spotty rain possible late. Low temps will fall to the low 60s. Overcast and windy tomorrow with widespread rain showers and a high temp near 72. A mix of sun and clouds on Saturday with highs in the upper 70s. Lots of sunshine on Sunday with high temps in the low 80s. Sunny on Labor Day with a high around 80 degrees. That's weather on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Currently, it's 72.
You're listening to Molly Suter on the mighty 1630 KCJJ.
And the other girl. The other
Yes.
girl's here too.
Hello.
Hello. Mikey G has decided to enter the chat, and he put 2 high-heeled shoes and a top hat. So thank you. Thank you for interacting.
I think I know Mikey G.
I don't know what that means, but...
Well...
Okay.
I don't know, but I'm assuming... I used to wear a lot of high heels, so I don't know if that's what he's referring to, but...
I guess, maybe. I have never, ever, ever gotten into high heels. I embarrass myself when I'm stumping around in them, and I
just
don't
have to walk slow.
I don't care enough to practice at home. So I'll wear a chunky heel, like I'll wear a wedge or like a chunky heel.
And I can't do wedges because they're too. Usually the wedges are kind of skinny at the bottom.
They are,
and so they
are very
they tend to be a little more dangerous. But a good chunky heel is awesome.
I just can't do stilettos.
When I was going through my divorce, I used to joke that the high heels were my transition objects.
Right.
So as I was, coming out of a marriage and into single life, I just kind of, gosh darn it, I freaking hyper-focused on high heels. What is wrong with me?
That's fun looking back at your life. That's fun looking back at your life and being like, this was a symptom of something, and I just didn't catch it.
I'm remembering other TikToks where they were like, yeah, here's what one hyper-focus did, and then
You
they'd
mean
show
the
a
news?
wall.
You saw it on the news.
saw it on the news. The ADHD news. They would show like a wall full of like collections of whatever they were collecting at the time that they were focusing on that particular thing.
Ooh.
And I did that. I mean, I definitely did that with heels because I had probably 150 pairs of shoes that were heels.
What?
Don't even.
No, I'm just kind of... I don't even have 150 pairs now.
I literally went from having 3 pairs of shoes because I had like my black pair, my brown pair, and then I would buy a pair of sandals at the beginning of the summer.
Yeah.
Wear them all summer until they fell apart, and then...
Right.
Maybe I'd have one like blue pair of shoes occasionally.
Yeah.
But when I divorced, I kind of went...
Went rogue. See,
oh my god,
I want an extensive wardrobe kind of like that, but I just feel so wasteful if I have like so much and I don't wear like half of it. So I go through my collection of whatever a lot and get rid of a lot.
I finally, because I had such a emotional attachment to them, it was hard.
Oh,
but I eventually thought, these just aren't bringing me joy anymore.
Right.
They're not. I mean, I still love looking at, and if I see a cute pair of shoes on somebody, I will tell them because they're cute. But I'm trying to find cute, functional, comfortable shoes now.
Yeah.
So I found, which is a struggle.
Do you still have some of the heels that you had?
I during the last move, I actually got rid of I had kept a bunch of, like high-heeled boots. Mm-hmm. But then I got rid of a lot of them during this last... Actually, after I moved them to the house, I finally went through the last big box of heels that I had. I just got rid of 90% of them. I kept some, like there's a pair... there's a couple of pairs that had emotional value. And then the brand name ones that I bought from Yonkers when I worked there, my kids will have. Like Katie took them and she's going to hold on to them. Because I had some... Michael Kors and some nice, they have some added value because they're not cheap Target heels that I bought.
Yeah.
Or secondhand or whatever.
No, if you invest in like a good pair of something, it's worth holding on
but
to.
I was not wearing them. So I have a couple pair, but I just don't wear them. And if I want to get, dressed up, I will go buy a pair of shoes.
Right. That's what I keep saying. I'm like, I love going shopping, so it doesn't make any sense to hold on to stuff like, oh, just in case I'm going to need it. Like, if I need something, if I need a fancy dress to wear to a wedding, even if I have one that would work, I'm going to go out and buy a new one just because it's like, ooh, I can go shopping for a pretty dress. Like,
Yeah.
I just like going shopping.
I don't love going shopping, but I like creating like a look or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like just to have... I don't know, maybe hyper-focus on an event that's happening 3 months from now and create, collecting the perfect thing for it. But
interesting.
My God, I'm shook.
Well, I can't diagnose you officially because I am not a psychiatrist or a doctor.
I know, I'm like, God, why? It makes so much. I mean, it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. But I mean, that's what I always think about. I'm like, I always think about these people that have cars that are like clean on the inside all the time.
Oh, absolutely not. No, mine is constantly a mess.
Like, I don't understand how.
It's a mess.
Are they constantly cleaning their car, or do they just never use their car?
No, what I think happens, Cindy, is people put things in their car and then take things out of their car like the same day. Not me. I will put something in my car, forget it exists until it's like piling up. And then I'm like, oh, my car is so filthy. And then I'll throw everything away and then it'll just repeat.
And then you'll be like, oh, there's where my 7 car chargers go that I kept losing, that I kept rebuying. Okay.
Or for me, it's just like, I went through a period of time where I would bring books to work, and I would, like, just leave them in my car.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I do this with books a lot. I get bored with one, and then I'll start another one, so I just have, like, a ton of books in my car. And I'm like, and then one day I'll want to read one particular book again, and I'll be like, where did that go? And then I'll look at my car and I'm like, oh, there are like 5 books in here.
That's your car library.
No, and they all are like a quarter of the way done. They're never like halfway done. I always give up like a quarter of the way in. And there's a little bit of time where audiobooks were the solution, but now like I'm kind of over audiobooks now.
I mean, I go back and forth. I've never really quite sunk into audiobooks, but I will listen to, hours and hours of podcasts. So I don't know why I have never really gotten into audiobooks.
I have a few podcasts that I listen to because they're my friends' podcasts, but I don't usually listen to podcasts. By the way, someone in the chat room said they keep their car clean. Well, what's it like being neurotypical?
I mean, I don't yeah. I mean, I appreciate that. I just don't know how to live like that.
No.
Like,
no,
I don't know how to live. I don't even know, like, how do you not live in chaos all the time? That's how I feel.
Honestly.
Like, what do people do when they're not
chaotic? I don't know. I don't
like
know.
when they're not, I always want to be organized. I always feel like that would be the perfect solution to everything.
Yes.
And when I am organized, I'm extremely happy because it doesn't take me long to make dinner. I know where everything is.
Right.
I mean, I've been sort of it's not a long-term thing, but like I've been trying to organize my refrigerator so that when I make a meal, I can just grab a box that has everything in it.
Yeah.
For that recipe. And that's been great, but it's a matter of doing that when I get the groceries.
Yeah.
Which doesn't happen.
No.
But when it does, I'm really super happy. So you'd think that would be positive reinforcement.
Does this happen? Okay, so another issue with ADHD that my sister and I have discovered is object permanence.
Yes.
You know how a toddler struggles with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you play peekaboo, like you're suddenly gone, and then your face appears again, and it's like, oh, mom's back. So it's that concept, but with things in the refrigerator. I'll put something in the refrigerator, and then it ceases to exist.
Well,
because I can't see it.
That's why I rearranged my refrigerator so that all of my condiments are in the crisper drawer. Because you're always looking for those things. Like, you're looking for ketchup, so it's in that drawer that isn't seen. I don't need to see ketchup every day.
No.
I know I'm pretty sure I have ketchup.
But like your eggs, your meat,
but like
produce,
vegetables and stuff. And then when I do recipes, I have 2 or 3, and then I have been trying to organize them in little boxes in the fridge that are right in front of my face. So I know I've got my Alfredo dish that I want to make tomorrow. That's all together. I don't have to go searching for stuff.
Is there like a refrigerator that exists with like clear doors? So I can
So yours is so bad that when you shut the door, you're done.
Yes.
Okay, so mine, I know the refrigerator exists. I know there's stuff in there.
No, I forget the refrigerator exists.
But I have to open it, and if I don't see it right away, I kind of forget about it. Like the salads that I want to make. If that if that bag of spinach is not right up there. I mean, who are you kidding? Even if it was in front of my face, I still wouldn't make the salad. But still, I would think about it.
I shared a meme on Facebook today that was like, no, that's my emotional support bag of rotting spinach. And I'm like, that's too true. Because this whatever produce I have will just, if I don't use it immediately, like get home from the store and then immediately start cooking it, it's...
Well, and I was successful on
gone.
Sunday. I picked up my groceries and I came home and I cut up fruit, which never happens. Put it all into containers so it's ready for like side dishes and for breakfast and all that stuff. And then I separated my recipe stuff into the little boxes that I bought for that at Houseworks for like $1 a piece. And so that's been a good success. I mean, I've had a successful week at cooking this week, which I'm happy about. And you'd think that would be like, oh, so I'll do that again next week, right? I don't know what's going to happen next week. I'm not confident that was enough of a success to make it happen every week.
Last year, when the pandemic was really bad, because we're still in the pandemic, and it's pretty bad, but like when it was really bad, when nobody was vaccinated, I did HelloFresh, which is
I like that service, yeah.
One of those services, yeah. And so I was making like 3 meals a week, and I actually really liked it. But my only gripe with it was that there was just a lot of packaging left over in my house. And, you know, you have to get rid of the packaging. And it's all recyclable, so you have to, like, recycle it. And that involves sometimes going to the recycling center if you have, like, a big box or whatever. And so that was just a lot of work.
Well, if you ever do that again, I recommend Every Plate because I tried all of them. Every Plate doesn't do the individual bags like HelloFresh did.
Yeah.
So you have to sort them out into the recipes, which is not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But they don't have that extra packaging.
Okay.
They have the packaging with the individual items, obviously.
Yeah.
But they don't have that extra, like, bags of stuff that you have to get rid of. And the price was cheaper.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just that they don't have the wide, like HelloFresh has a lot of things that you can choose from. They have like maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 things from each thing.
Although I will say HelloFresh, like, because we did it for, I think, a summer. It was like summer into fall when we did it. And we started having repeat recipes.
Right.
And I didn't ask for repeat recipes. So I'm like, oh, maybe we're cycling through a lot of them.
Well, they get what works, and then they probably just redo it every 6 months or whatever.
And, like, it's fine, but you get to keep the recipe cards that they send you. So, like, you really can replicate the recipes on your own. But the main draw was that they deliver the ingredients, the exact portions to you. I really think grocery stores need to, like, do things in less bulk.
I agree.
Like, I would love a half loaf of bread. I don't need the full loaf because it goes stale before I can make, like...
But then you could make croutons!
No, I'm not going to make croutons. I'm not going to make...
banana bread with the bananas that rot.
Oh, I wanted to, but they went bad too quickly.
Okay, so I do this thing called e-meals. I think I've talked about it before.
I don't know.
So it's a service that I pay like $10 a month for, and every Wednesday they pop up with these recipes that you pick which ones you want to do. You can pick from several different. That's the one thing I didn't like about the meal services. If you wanted to go vegetarian, you had to pick all 3 vegetarian meals. If you wanted to go, family friendly, you had to pick it all from one. This you can pick from all of the different places, and you can pick one recipe if you want to do it, or you can do it as many times a week as you want. And then you go to, it connects with several different stores, one of which is Walmart, which I already did my grocery shopping from, which I know you don't like Walmart, but
I don't mind Walmart. I just don't like driving to Walmart.
So it facilitates, it like connects electronically somehow to Walmart and the Walmart shopping app so that you can pick all the stuff that you want, and it tells you what you need for each recipe, and it kind of pops up like, hey, you need this many onions, and and then you pick what you want, so you can pick the great value if you want to.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and then you pick up your groceries the next day or that night or whatever, however you have it picked up, and then you you've got everything you need for that recipe.
Ooh.
And so it's a little bit of extra work because you have to actually shop for the stuff, but you do it on your phone or on your computer pretty easily. And what I have found is that each recipe is built for 2 people, or you can do 4 people, I think. I just kind of add, so I have lots of leftovers for lunch, because that's my meal prep. I make supper, and then I want 2 or 3 lunches off of that.
See, I don't like leftovers.
Oh, see, yeah. There's 2 kind of people in the world.
That's another that's another problem I have for many different things. Like, if I get takeout, like, there's just a lot of food left over. And, like, I'll eat the leftovers. I don't want to, like, because I don't like food waste. That's why I volunteer with Table to Table. But, you know, I don't like it. I think the integrity of the food is destroyed.
It's not the same the next day, but
it's not.
But you can pick stuff that would, like, pasta works pretty well.
Yeah, pasta's fine.
I do a lot of that. But so that's what I've been doing for the last year or so, is e-meals, and I've been grocery shopping through Walmart pickup forever. So so if you want to try that, that's what I recommend, because it gives you a little bit of flexibility, and you can do one recipe, and that cuts down on waste. You know, you don't have that 3 recipes that you have. I have to make this for the rest of the week, and then things happen, and then you end up wasting all that food.
Also, towards the end of my time with HelloFresh, I was also getting kind of lazy. So if they gave me like a particularly not hard, but like more than just 3 steps, I would be like, okay, how can I modify this? Like, they gave me ingredients for like enchiladas, and instead of making enchiladas, I'm like, I'm just gonna make a quesadilla.
Right.
And it was delicious.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of the same ingredients, but like without like the sauce and the baking. Well, I mean, you can make a quesadilla by baking it, but whatever. But yeah, that's what I did. I'm just like, okay, how can I utilize these ingredients to make something else, not what the recipe card says, because that one would take too much time, or like I just don't want to do it, you know. But I did find some recipes I did like using that, and it actually did get me to try like things I wouldn't have.
And that's what this service has done for me too. It's like I've been trying. So my goal for the next couple of weeks is to go mostly vegetarian. And they've got a lot of really great vegetarian meals that I would never have thought of before, which I like. I like expanding my cooking and my food. I
wish more restaurants had like a good vegetarian or vegan option, because there's this one place in town that has really good like tofu sada.
I've had that before, yes.
Yeah, and it's so good. And so I don't do anything else at this place. I know
Pancheros has that as an like tofu as an option to put in your thing, and I miss red avocado. That was the best place to get.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, they had the best Reuben. Oh my god.
I don't like.
Oh my god.
I don't like Reubens.
They're awesome.
You know what? I don't know why this reminded me of it. A sandwich I've never had, but I want to try, is a Monte Cristo sandwich.
I am not a fan.
It is.
So that's the one where
fried
they take
ham and cheese, isn't it?
With French toast, basically. They take French toast and make that into a sandwich. Yeah, to me, I like sweet and I like savory.
Yeah.
I don't like them together.
No, I usually do too, but I feel like this would be different.
I've had it. It's not different. It's gross. I mean, it's like somebody made too much French toast and they're like, hey, let's just make it out of, like they just made this up because, and then they tried to make it happen and it's not happening with me.
Ooh, French toast sounds good.
I like French toast by itself.
I love French toast.
But I don't want French toast with ham and cheese and whatever else is on it.
I think it's a ham and cheese sandwich that's like, I thought it was deep fried. I didn't know there was a French toast thing going on.
Okay, so maybe I had it in Tipton one time, a long time ago at the family restaurant.
Maybe they just do a French toast Monte Cristo.
They might. Maybe that's different from anything else.
Actually, I'm gonna. You know what? Let's look it up. What is a Monte Cristo?
And somebody in the chat room, of course, loves it. Of course, it's the same person who keeps his car clean, so we can't really trust him.
What is a Monte Cristo? Here. It's a Monte Cristo sandwich is an egg-dipped or batter-dipped ham and cheese sandwich that is pan or deep-fried. Yes, it looks like...
So isn't an egg-dipped piece of bread French toast?
It's French toast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They try to pretend it's something different, but it's not.
In French, it's a croquet monsieur. But yeah.
Try it, Molly. You could make that yourself.
Honestly, it kind of looks good, though.
I mean, maybe you'll like it. I did not like it.
I'll have to try it. I'm not going to make it myself. I would get it at a restaurant or something. I'm not about to make something. Buy all the ingredients for it. And then
You
not
probably
like
have
it.
all the ingredients. You have bread, you have eggs, you have ham, you have cheese, you have a pan.
I don't think I have ham, actually.
Oh. Neither do I. Because I'm trying to go mostly vegetarian.
I actually don't have bread right now either. I need to go grocery shopping. I have eggs though.
I always have eggs. 'Cause
I have
love
eggs and cheese.
Well, you could make cheesy eggs instead.
But
Let's just do that.
It's the wrong kind of cheese.
There's not. What do you mean the wrong? You can put any kind of cheese in eggs.
It's provolone.
You can put provolone cheese in eggs. I've done that.
It's not. It doesn't. It's not the same as like a cheddar or a.
No, but it still melts and it's still.
I mean, it melts, but not the same. It doesn't melt the same. It doesn't melt the same.
I like provolone.
It's the integrity of the food that does it for me. If it doesn't melt completely, it's
once I
gross.
scramble an egg, any cheese is gonna be okay. It all kind of mixes together.
I like a shredded cheddar. Well, that's another thing. My provolone cheese is the stuff you put in a sandwich. And
I
so
mean-
like you can. It's not the same. It's not the same.
That is where we part ways. Although I like cream cheese in my eggs, so.
Real? Ooh,
And
I've
scrambled
never.
eggs, they're really good.
Oh, I've never had. Oh, I usually
Highly requested at my brunch.
I usually have fried eggs and not scrambled eggs.
Well, if I'm, going yes, but if I'm making for more than one person, I'm not frying everybody an egg.
Right.
So I scramble eggs and throw in some cream cheese, and boom, fancy scrambled eggs. I made breakfast Sunday morning, and my youngest happened to be home that morning, so I made food for her too, and I did the cheesy scrambled eggs and I had chives or parsley or something. I forget what it was, some green. So I threw that on there. And she's like, "Oh, Mom, I like the way you bedazzled the eggs, even though it's just us."
I love that.
Like, yeah, it's just you and me. My dad came over, and he was stopping by anyway, but he came over, but it's just us. Bedazzled.
I love that. That's funny. You didn't put rhinestones on the eggs, did you?
No, I didn't have any. Oh, I wonder if glitter. I should get edible glitter. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Ooh, glitter on eggs.
When I was out walking moose the other night, this is not food related, but
that's fine.
We're almost home, and I had my headphones on, and so these 3 little girls come running up. "Oh, can we pet your dog?" And so I noticed that the little girl had glitter, sparkly shoes, and so I was talking to him about Moose and how Moose was a boy, but I like pink, so I put pink collar on him and stuff. And one of the girls was like, "Oh, I like pink too," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's my favorite color. What's your favorite color?" And she's like, "Pink," and I'm like, "What's your second favorite color?" And of course, it's always purple because pinks and purples.
Nope,
we all stick together.
I used to be like that. I don't. Now I don't know what my second favorite color is. My first is pink, but I don't know the second one anymore. It used to be purple.
You can go purple.
I don't think
it
is.
goes together.
I don't think it is purple anymore. I don't think.
Well,
it
then
is.
I said my third favorite color is glitter.
No.
And the girl's like, "That's not a color." I'm like, "Yeah, if you use it enough, it is." She was kind of confused, but
well, yeah. Actually, I think my second favorite color now is yellow. I never used to be a yellow person.
I'm not a fan of yellow.
Yeah. Oh, why not?
It doesn't really go with pink.
Yeah, it doesn't. But
I mean, you can have a favorite color of yellow. I'm not judging you for it.
That's not my favorite color. My favorite color is pink.
Second favorite color though is yellow.
Right. Yes, it is. I think my third is blue, and then purple. Purple has been demoted to fourth.
Well, if I had to choose, it would be pink, and then if there's any sort of leopard animal print.
It's not a color.
I know, but that still would be my second choice. But solid color would be purple. And then anything that glitters.
All that glitters is gold.
I haven't thought of that song in a long time. Speaking of music, have you heard ABBA is coming?
Wait, I just
came out with a couple of songs?
I just played one earlier tonight. It's called... Oh God, I always forget what it's called.
So, because they came out with something new...
Yep.
Does that then grandfather their 70s stuff into the playlists now?
I don't think so.
Oh, dang it.
This song is not even going to be in rotation, so don't worry, Steve. It's called Don't Shut Me Down, and I really like it. They came out with another one, too. It was called, like, I Still Believe in You or something, but I wasn't nearly as much of a fan of that as I am of Don't Shut Me Down.
My friend sent me the TikTok that they are on. I'm like, ooh. And then we were talking about it at work, and he's like, yeah, they came out with 2 new songs, and he said he listened to them, and one of them is kind of disco-y.
Yeah, it's Don't Shut Me Down. That's the one.
Okay, that's one I'll have to remember to listen to.
It's
Somebody
honestly,
remind me to listen to that sometime this week.
I was talking to Dad, actually, because he was around when Tommy was recording it. And I was saying, this sounds like they could have recorded this in the 70s and decided not to release it for whatever reason, and then like 40 years later they're just like, you know what, let's release it and just like call it a new song. It sounds exactly like something they would put out in the 70s. It does sound like it.
Because I don't know that I'm interested in any ABBA that would be like
2021 ABBA. No,
I want them to keep their same sound,
and I think they understood the assignment.
Good.
I think they know that.
But I also didn't know that they were still alive. I'll be honest
with
you. No one's heard from them.
No, Cindy, they had a hand of like, producing, maybe not producing, but they definitely had to say in like Mamma Mia.
I know that those movies were based on those songs. I just didn't realize they were still.
They were involved. At least the guys were. I don't think.
Because there's 2 guys and 2 girls, right?
There's 2 guys and 2 girls. Both of the guys were involved in the Mamma Mia series. I don't think the women were.
I just didn't even realize, because that's why I had to ask my friend. I'm like, have they released anything in the last, like, that we all missed?
40
and he
years.
said like 40 years it had been, which.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was 1981.
What have they been doing then? Like, what are they?
Chilling.
Just living off royalties?
Don't you think you want to chill for 40 years?
I mean, I would love that, but...
Yeah, you know what? If they want to chill for 40 years, go ahead. Maybe they're going to drop this, chill for another 40, and come back when they're, like, 100. Actually, I have no idea how old they are. Probably in their 70s.
I mean, I would guess.
Because they were pretty young in the 70s, but, like, not, like, teenagers. They were, like, still in their 20s, weren't they? So, like...
I'm not sure. Obviously, because I thought they were dead. But I'm glad they're alive. I'm going to listen to their music. I like their original music. I mean, who doesn't like ABBA?
Lots of people here, apparently.
There's no accounting for taste.
I know, exactly. My dad was like, do your friends like ABBA? And I'm like, my friends have taste, so yes, they do.
I had to quote today, I'm like, you like ABBA? ABBA? Like, did you ever see Borat? Like, the original Borat movie?
Borat, yeah.
Where he played, like, a taxi driver? And he's, like, in the car, and he's, like, driving someone around. He's like, you like ABBA? ABBA? You like ABBA?
That's me.
I'm like, of course, that's the only part I remember that movie, but...
That would be me as an Uber driver. I'd be like, ABBA?
I would be like... Do you like true crime? If so,
do you like true crime podcasts?
I've got some Dateline queued up if you want to listen.
Do you just mind if I put this on?
Yeah, I don't really care if you like true crime, but I'm listening to this and I'm
my
like in the middle
God.
of it and I need to find out whether or not the wife did it.
Imagine you go into an Uber and the person is listening to like a true crime podcast episode about like Uber drivers.
I would be like, I would be all in. I would give the biggest tip.
I'll say, I think I would.
Okay, there's only really one.
I would get out of the car, I think is what would happen.
I know, but there's one. There's one Uber driver major crime spree.
Oh.
And it was when Uber first started.
Yeah.
And it was a guy that killed a bunch of people while he was on the clock with Uber.
No, I don't like that.
I mean, there might have been more. Yeah, there were more, but that was the big one.
Mm-hmm.
That I know every crime podcast has talked about. But
I thought you were just going to stop at, I know every crime.
I know of every crime.
I know
It's
every
getting to the
crime.
point where there isn't much I haven't heard about. So when I do hear one, I'm like, oh, I haven't heard that one. Oh, let's listen to that one. I get all excited when I haven't heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? I'm hyper focusing on this year.
On true
crime.
Well, are you at least picking up safety tips?
Well, that's why. See, my kids don't understand. Like, I'll actually watch. Like, you know, I always refer to my comfort shows, right? Where
Right.
I watch them at night.
Yes.
Bedtime. Mm-hmm. I will watch 48 Hours.
I know you'll watch
Dateline. And like, my youngest is like, that scares me. Why do you watch that?
No,
It's scary.
I'm with Katie on this one.
Okay, first of all, the narration, the people that are like,
Right, you
that
said
are
that.
talking over, like telling the story a lot of times are very comforting. Their voices are very comforting. And also, I don't listen to unsolved true crime.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's scary. Not knowing who did something.
Yeah.
So all of the ones that I listen to, they have an ending. They may not be the greatest ending, but we know what happened for the most part, or at least who got convicted of the crime.
I don't know if I've said this on this show before. I may have, and I apologize if I have. But have you heard of Very Scary People? And the host is Donnie Wahlberg.
No.
Yes, and so I caught it on TV with my family one time, and we were watching it, and then they had like a hashtag at the bottom of the screen, and so Amy and I checked out the hashtag, and it was just like women in their 40s who were like New Kids on the Block fans back in the day, and they're like, watching Donnie.
So Donnie, I was going to ask, so Donnie's the New Kids guy and not the
Yes.
actor. Okay,
No,
because I get
Mark-
them confused
that's
sometimes.
Mark.
I mean, I know who they are
Marky Mark.
separately, but... So he's hosting like a true crime...
He's hosting it's called Very Scary People, and it's like a true crime thing. Mostly like serial killers.
What streaming? What?
It's not on streaming. I don't.
Don't tell me YouTube.
No,
It's not on YouTube.
It's not. I don't remember what channel it. It's like actual. It's like actual TV. It's like an actual like.
I know, but
channel.
even actual TV is somewhere streamed, right?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. This phone is a lifesaver. I don't know how people had a radio show before. You could just look things up.
I know I've told this story, but maybe not to you. We were at a thing at Gabe's like years and years ago. I took my kids to a concert there, and we were standing in line to get inside, and I heard these young ladies behind me discussing. I think it was they were debating an actor, and if he had changed his name legally, like what his real name was when he was born.
Yeah,
they were having that discussion, and they're like, "Oh, well, wait, let's just see." And so they looked it up on their phones, and I turned around and I'm like, back in my day, when we had these discussions, you had to like hold on to it for weeks until you could get to the library and look it up in the whatever archive, and then you could call your friend up on a dial phone and say, I looked that up and you were wrong.
Oh my god.
So I thought that was funny.
Anyway, so it's on HLN, and then it's also on Hulu.
Oh, okay. I have Hulu again because my daughter bought it.
So it's called Very Scary People with Donnie Wahlberg.
Donnie Wahlberg.
And then you can get on the Twitter hashtags.
Well, I'm glad he's doing something.
Yeah, he's getting his coin.
I can't can't imagine it being very good, though.
I can't imagine the New Kids on the Block royalties are still coming in. I haven't heard from the New Kids in a while.
Have you seen the TikTok of like 98 Degrees or one of the boy bands? I think it's a conglomeration of two of them.
Oh, it's Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
Yeah. They're not aging that great.
I have not seen them on the TikTok. They're all in their 40s now, and
I know.
I'm sure
they're doing the same dance.
And I'm sure the touring schedule was pretty diligent back when they were very young and maybe didn't take the best care of themselves. And so, yeah, they're probably not aging that well when you don't take care of yourself. But or that could just not be their fault. You know what? Some people just have genetics where, like, you don't age well, and that's not your fault.
Yes, but don't do the same dances you were doing when you were 16.
I want
because everyone's going to think about it and go, "Oh yeah, I remember that when I was, a kid." And then they watch them do these dances, and they're dancing like you would, because you're old too. Mm-hmm. It's uncomfortable to watch.
I think it's actually cool. It's like, oh, I remember when we were kids together, and now we're adults together, and now we kind of look the same. And
I don't like to be reminded of how old I feel.
Well, I'm not in my 40s, so I'm just kind of speculating.
I'm not in my 40s either anymore. I'm officially 50. I can't even say I'm almost 50 anymore. I'm actually 50. I'm kind of angry about it. Oh, well.
Sometimes I will think to myself, I'm like, wow, you are almost 30. And I'm like, that's old. You're old.
Shut it.
But I'm not there yet.
You're not old yet.
I'm 28.
You're such a baby.
Am I? I don't feel like a baby. I feel very old.
Well, when I sit here and think, oh, she's like over 20 years younger than me.
Oh, that's right.
I could be your mother.
You could easily be my mother. You aren't, though.
No. You've got a good mama.
I do. I'm going to see her this weekend.
Good.
I'm not sure when, but I will.
I see my dad every Saturday, so.
I see my dad pretty much every day.
Well, you work with him. You can't get rid of him, can you?
No, more like he can't get rid of me. I guess he could. They could fire me if they wanted to, I guess.
That would make for awkward.
It would.
Family dinners.
Yeah, it would. He would make Steve do it.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, watch Very Scary People with Donnie Wahlberg.
That is not a direct endorsement, just a suggestion, right?
No, I'm talking to you. I'm not talking.
I'm not talking about the
No,
audience.
I'm not talking to the
I don't want that coming back and, everyone being like, we're going to boycott your show because we really hated that show that you suggested.
Because that really sucked. It wasn't bad. I don't think it was bad. It was just, it was interesting. So I feel like if you like true crime, you're going to like it.
I'm going to look it up and see. Sometimes I don't like those. I mean, I don't like every true crime show. Mm-hmm. Because some of them are just kind of cheesy and sort of not well done and too short. If that makes sense. Because some of those stories you really want to get involved.
Actually, I remember this was on the longer side. It was at least 40 minutes.
Okay.
So I feel like but I agree with you. Like the short ones, I'm just like, come on, give me some meat.
It's like, just don't even bother if you're not going to get into the real details of what's going on.
Mm-hmm. I love, I will watch true crime series. There's a series on YouTube of several people who will dive into a true crime story while doing their makeup.
I love Bailey Sarian.
I don't know any of their names, but I watch.
I do.
I watch.
Bailey Sarian is the one that's the main one that my kids started watching, and then they kind of turned me on to it.
I watch. I mean, I'm not subscribed to any of them, but if they show up on my home screen, I'll click on them. But if they do a well-known case or something I've heard of, I will click on it. Like the Dingo Ate My Baby couple, and then the John Benet Ramsey case, or just really high-profile stuff.
Bailey's so good at both talking about it and doing her makeup that there's a couple There's one story. I don't want to go into detail because it's just, but it's,
Okay.
I can't remember the girl's name, but it was like a young girl that was sort of watched by a family that ended up abusing her and killing her. And I've heard the story before, and every time I hear it, it's just uncomfortable, and it's just, it gives me nightmares. It's the one story I don't like listening to. But she did it, and I'd already heard it, once or twice before, and I know that it's a story I don't like. I still watched the whole thing because I wanted to see how her makeup turned out.
I love that.
Because I'm totally fascinated by people doing makeup.
It just feels like you're hanging out with them. Like they're,
Right.
like they're
And-
telling you something they recently learned, and it's like you're hanging out with them.
And I don't know where she got, she started out, this Bailey specifically, I know she started out just doing makeup. And she's really good at it. I think she does it for a living, maybe even.
Right.
But she's really good at it. And she had a YouTube channel that was wildly successful just doing makeup. And then she added on this Monday. Every Monday she does makeup and murder. Mm-hmm. And it's really quite fascinating. And I don't even like YouTube, but I got on YouTube to watch her.
I love YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube
I have a hard time
channels.
navigating it. It's not, it's almost like you have to know what you're looking for on YouTube.
Well, that's why the homepage is so nice. Because, like, over time, after you start, like, watching stuff, like, your homepage will become, like, kind of like a For You page on TikTok. Like, you don't even want to go look at your subscriptions. You just want to look at what pops up on your homepage. Because it's what you like, but it's something you've never seen before.
I guess I've never really gotten that. I always go there specifically to find some...
Yeah, so if you... I'm not telling you to do this, but if you decide you want to get more into YouTube, I would try that. Like, the more, like, makeup tutorial, whatever, true crime that you watch, and the more, like, whatever else you like on YouTube you watch, your homepage will become more curated to you.
The more Betty Broderick I watch, because I know that's on YouTube.
I don't know what
that's a mini series that they did.
Oh.
That's another murder.
Okay.
That was wildly popular back in the 80s, but bad divorce. She ended up killing her ex-husband and his new wife.
Oof.
I'm sure you've heard of it.
How?
Did you ever watch Dirty John, any of those series?
No.
Okay. Well, they did a series with Christian Slater, wasn't it?
Oh, I know Christian Slater was like the it guy
He was.
in like
Oh
the
my God,
early 90s,
so cute.
but I've only seen him in Heathers. I didn't like Heathers that much, by the way.
It was uncomfortable.
It has like this cult following, like a lot of people love it, and I'm just like, why?
I liked it because I loved Christian Slater. He was my guy back in the day, but I don't remember loving that movie specifically.
I like the musical just because I like musicals, but it's a pretty good musical.
I haven't seen that.
Well, I haven't seen it. I've heard I've heard the songs, and I've actually seen like a poorly filmed bootleg on YouTube, but I feel like
I kind of forgot for a second that they had a musical based on that. But,
yes, they do. It's at least a decade old at this point.
Well, Christian Slater just keeps popping up in weird stuff.
Does he?
Yeah, which I love. But he was in this Dr. Death. I don't know if you've seen that.
Nope. Again, the only thing I've seen Christian Slater in is Heathers, and that was what, 89?
The only thing?
89.
You didn't watch iRobot?
No. Wait.
Yes.
Yes, he was an iRobot.
Yeah.
Okay, I still haven't seen the last season of iRobot. Honestly and truly, I watched iRobot for Rami Malek. I absolutely love him. But it was kind of a really dense series, and it took me a while.
There's a lot going on.
It took me a while to get through season 2 just because I didn't really understand anything what was going on.
I binge watched it, so I can't even really spoil it for you because I can't remember what happened at the end.
You're right, Christian Slater is an iRobot. I totally forgot.
But the last guy I dated binge watched that while we were dating, and I didn't watch it with him, and so I didn't watch it after we broke up for a while because of that. And I'm like, screw this. I like Christian Slater more than I'm mad about the breakup, so I'm watching it.
I think Christian would,
and I'm glad I did.
I think Christian would like that.
And actually, Rami, however you say his name, he's
Rami.
very talented. 'Cause didn't he do?
He was Freddie Mercury.
He was amazing in that.
He was honestly, that movie won an Oscar purely because he was in it.
He just was Freddie Mercury. He was ultimately.
I feel like if he wasn't Freddie, if they got like, I mean, I'm sure whoever else they would have gotten would be okay as Freddie, but like it wouldn't have been an Oscar nominated movie if Rami had not been Freddie. And like I 100% believe that with my soul.
And why did no one ever tell me that Freddie Mercury had a house that had an entire like a room for each cat that he owned?
He loved cats.
Like I never even knew that. I like when I saw that on the movie, I looked it up.
He loved cats.
I looked up on Google to search that. I'm like, is that true? Like I didn't even realize that was a thing.
Yeah.
Like his whole house was devoted to his cats.
Honestly, that's gonna be me.
I'm okay with that.
That's gonna be. It's already kind of like that.
My dog has pretty much taken over my entire living room with the cardboard that he shreds up throughout the day, and I don't care. It's not like I invite people over anyway.
I want a dog, but like, I'm not. I don't think I'm responsible enough for a dog.
Well, you could get married, have a couple kids, and then get divorced, and then have your ex-husband get a dog that he ends up giving to you.
I didn't know where you were going with that. I could have been like, or I could skip that and just get a dog, Cindy.
But I was never going to get a dog. And now I have a dog. That's how life works.
I love how your ex-husband got a dog and then you ended up with your ex-husband's
We all knew
dog.
that was going to happen. The minute my ex-husband and my daughter's like, let's get a dog. I mean, no matter what animal gets in that little world, I end up taking care of.
Oh my god. I would be mad if people did that and just knowing that I have like an animal lover's heart and would
I don't think that was their intention. I mean, they did have the intention of taking care of it. It just didn't happen that way, which is fine. But it turns out I really like the dog, so it worked out for the way it was supposed to.
He's a very cute dog. He's a very cute dog who I still haven't met.
I'll have to bring him out sometime.
Yes. Or we should meet at Terry Trueblood and like take a walk with the dog.
So another goal of mine is to walk some more, and I've been finally taking the dog out. So yes, let's do that.
We should do that. Maybe not this weekend, but next weekend.
And it's getting cooler enough to where it's going to be actually
nice,
lovely to walk.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's going to go back to being like 90 degrees next week, but this is just kind of a preview for fall weather. Don't get too comfortable, guys. Yeah, so right now it's 68, which is going to be nice and crisp when I go outside. And then tomorrow, let's see, scattered showers and storms. High of 72. Oh, that's going to be nice. High of 72? That's
that is nice.
That's like an autumn day.
Mm-hmm.
That's like an early autumn day. I'm looking forward to that. My mom and I were supposed to play tennis tomorrow morning, but I don't think we're going to because it's going to be showers and storms.
That would make sense.
Yeah. We actually haven't been able to play tennis yet because whenever we try to schedule it, there's always an obstacle, and it's usually rain. Like, we wake up the day of, and then it's, like, pouring down rain. It's like, okay, I guess we're not playing tennis.
So do you guys have tennis outfits, or do you just go out?
No.
Oh. What's the point of playing tennis if you don't have the outfit?
For fun and exercise, Cindy.
I know, but
I'll
get
get
cute little skirts.
And I can spend time with mommy.
All right. You should have matching outfits, is all I'm saying.
That would be cute. I mean, I guess we could both dress in black leggings and a Hawkeye shirt.
There you go. And celebrate the Hawkeyes.
Yes.
Game this weekend apparently is playing. Right? No? Football this weekend?
Yes, football this weekend.
Go Hawks.
Football this weekend.
Go Sports.
Go Hawks, yeah, for sure. I'm not sure who we're playing, though. I guess I could look it up.
Well, hopefully we're playing the losers.
Well, duh. Because we're the Hawkeyes. Do you remember that season when, like, we didn't lose until the Rose Bowl?
Was that the season that the hotel in Corville put their numbers of how many we won?
Yes.
In the windows?
That was 2015.
That's all I remember.
Oh, We play Indiana tomorrow at 2:30.
Here or away?
Oh, not tomorrow. I'm
Friday.
Sorry.
I mean,
No,
Saturday.
Saturday. It's Thursday. The first game is Saturday because football happens on Saturday at 2:30, and it's here. Yeah. So have fun with that. I'll probably go to my parents' house. I know they're tailgating. They're probably.
Is it a morning game or an evening?
I said 2:30.
Oh, you just said 2:30. Because I work at 10, so I'm like, how does that affect me at Hallmark?
Well, is it like? Honestly, you'll probably get out as the. Actually, people will be in the game or at the bar, so you should be okay traffic-wise, I think. It's just like before...
Well, and really, I can just go that back way, and then
Yes.
you just miss everything.
Oh yeah, because you still have to travel to work, right? Then you would probably...
And then if the game starts at 2:30, I'm done at 1:30, so I might have a...
Oh, well...
I have an appointment, and I was sitting at 2. I gotta figure that out. Gosh darn
or you could just
football game.
Or you could just tell your dentist or whatever, being like, "Hey,
I'm getting my eyebrows tinted,
oh,
and I'm getting my lashes tinted, which I have not done yet.
lashes tinted. I've never heard of that.
I hadn't heard of it either, but it's on the little list of things, so I'm gonna try that.
Amy and I just got false eyelashes, but like the magnetic kind, because the glue kind is too complicated for me to get, but the magnetic kind is actually very easy.
I've heard good things about that.
It's very easy.
Youngest gets hers lashes, whatever, stuck to her, or however they do that.
Oh, like she gets like her lashes done.
Like
it's
lash extensions or whatever they call them. Yeah,
lash extensions. I've heard horror stories about that. Actually,
you can go. She's had it done a couple of different times by a couple of different places with varying degrees of success, but I'm too cheap for that.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I just kind of have nice eyelashes to begin with. I was blessed. So.
I don't really. I mean, I don't focus on that. I don't really do eye makeup, but I got a gift certificate to the Academy over across on First Avenue. So I'm like, I'd already gotten my brow tinted once. I like not having to fill them in.
Oh, I know. I don't touch my eyebrows really. I mean, I sometimes take Nair to my glabella, which is the space between the eyebrows, and I do hair removal there just because, like, if I don't, I get a little bit of a unibrow.
And I've been lucky. I don't have any extra. Like, I don't even have to pluck them. I just get them tinted. But I like to darken them a little bit. But...
Mine are already kind of dark. So, again, I was blessed. I was just blessed.
In many ways, Molly.
Yes.
It's almost 9 o'clock.
I know, but we still have 2 minutes.
Oh, my God. Well, I will recommend Beforeigners now that I'm rewatching it.
Oh,
I'm loving it again.
It was so good. No, I read on Google when season 2 is coming out, and from what I can see, they are still in production for season 2.
So maybe I should hold off watch because I'd have to watch it again to watch season 2. I'm saying.
Yes, I do. I honestly, another thing with ADHD, I hyper focus on shows a lot, and so I will go back to my favorites and watch them like at least once a year.
I'm that way with Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I'll watch
so,
and rewatch
like,
those seasons over and over again.
So, or like at least a particular season. Like I've seen the first season of Outlander like 4 times now.
I do. I mean, I like the books better, but yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah, I just love it. I also, another reason I just love Outlander is the setting. Like, Scotland is just beautiful, and they film in Scotland.
I agree.
And I'm just like, oh my god, I need to go to this place.
And I love the costuming of that era.
It's really...
Like, I really, look,
And they do a good job.
On the news, I'm following a lot of cosplayers. So I'm really loving watching everybody make outfits for different, like for Renaissance fairs or for whatever Comic-Cons that they're going to. It's really kind of wonderful. There's this really cute video of this girl who she sews and stuff, but she has her boyfriend or husband had gotten a new costume that was Captain America. And she's like, he tried it on. He didn't want to take it off. So she was filming him going through the grocery store, Target. I think it was Target. And she's like, yeah, and now he's stopping to take pictures with all the kids.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I'm like, I want him. That's
I
so
love
cute.
that. All right, so it is now like 9:01.
See, we can do it. 2 hours of nothing.
Just talking. People love it. They can't get enough. Anyway, so I'll let you know about next week. But yeah, so thanks for listening to us tonight. You're listening to the Mighty 1630 KCJJ.
Bye.
From the Hertine and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the Mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Hertine and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Now, Iowa City's news first.
I'm Tommy Lang.